What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
A couple quick reminders to download and play Vampire and Need for Speed Payback. Both offer for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back at the end of this month for Plus Club. Let us know what you thought of those games. We'll let you know what we thought of them. And our game of the month randomly picked is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which is a third-person action RPG. Make sure to download that, play that, or if you played in the past, come back at the end of this month for Game of the Month. We're going to talk about our experience with that game as well. And I hope we get a chance to watch the anime and have a discussion about that as well. I think that'd be cool. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time, and we're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us in audio form. If you'd like to support the channel, you can like, subscribe, and share this video around. It'd be very cool of you to do that because we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, and I want to hit that before the end of the year. So any support is definitely appreciated. But also, if you want to go even further than that, you can check out our Patreon link down below. And yeah, type in hashtag AskTLG on your comment if you'd like it to be considered for our reading your comments and replying segment on Tastycast. We just did it in the last Tastycast. Make sure to go back and watch that. We talked about Monster Hunter Rise and a couple other things, quite a few other things, and we read your comments. So if you'd like your comment to be read on the show, type in hashtag AskTLG. Otherwise, I pick at random. Okay. Tasty Tuesday. We got 2 bits of news to talk about, so let's just jump into it. First bit of news is a little bit of Payday news. I almost said payback, in which it's been confirmed that Payday 3 is actually being worked on. If you don't know, Payday 2 is a very popular cooperative game, and I think it's been out for like 7 years or some shit. And so this is actually pretty big news, even though there's not a whole lot to it. Let's read and kind of figure out what's going on with this. This is via PC Gamer, and it says Payday 3 is still in the works. We'll use Unreal Engine. Hoxton get the thermal drill. Cooperative crimes doing shooter. I hate the way they said that. Payday 2 is getting a bit long in the tooth at 7 years old, though it's still played by some 20 to 60,000 people each month and gets regular updates. That's pretty wild actually here. So where you might ask is Payday 3, which we haven't learned much new about since early 2017. A tweet from the official Payday account provides tantalizing bits of information, something like that. The tweet, which is on screen right now, but for anybody listening, says, access Payday Twitterman member count 100,000, requests received, accessing CrimeNet, connecting online, time 1337, status Payday 3, confirmed, design phase, release date, to be announced, and Unreal Engine. And has a picture of somebody in the shadows looking at computers from behind. Continuing, it says, the only new information is that Payday 3 will use the Unreal Engine. There's also an image of a shady computer-using person. We've known Payday 3 was in the works for years now, but it seems like it's still in the overall design phase with no firm release date. The Payday series is developed by Swedish studio Overkill, but published by Starbreeze, which has had notable financial and legal problems in recent years, which kind of explains why we haven't really heard a whole lot from them in a while. So as far as we know, Payday 3 is still scheduled for 2022-2023 release date, as much as a full decade after the release of Payday 2. Payday 2 still has active updates and is, by any conventional measure, an active and successful game. Its most recent DLC, Breakfast in Tijuana, released in July of this year. Payday 3's developer has been largely overshadowed by troubles at publisher Starbreeze. So we have a confirmation that this is coming out. We got a confirmation that it's still coming out, even though it's been talked about before, and even though they've had issues at this publisher. Now, this is pretty minuscule news, but really what I want to talk about is there still hype for a Payday 3? Me and you've both played Payday 2,
Right.
Played Payday 1. I think we played it quite a bit. I probably played it more than you, but we still both played it quite a bit. And so is this exciting for you? Is it not exciting for you? What would you want from Payday 3? And what do we think about how they've handled Payday 2? And any concerns about their problems?
I know the problems are pretty prevalent because if you go on Steam anytime Payday updates like a news post about something that's going on with Payday 2, it's full of people usually complaining about certain things in the game. So whether or not they're the minority and they're just being vocal or not, I don't know. Obviously, seeing numbers of 20 to 60,000 people playing, the game's still doing just fine. So
That's pretty crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played in like easily over a year or two.
Yeah, and I know we played it a lot at one point, and then we took a long break, and we hopped back into it like for like a day or two. It wasn't like a long stint the second time, but the game had changed so much in that time. I didn't even know how to play or how anything worked anymore at that point. So I don't really think I have a very solid ground to like comment on the state of Payday 2 at this point, other than what they've presented, and it's still healthy, it sounds like. So that's good to hear. I could also completely imagine a game that has been in development for 7 years now, because they keep adding stuff to it. It would be long in the tooth, because it's just getting stuff stacked on top of each other, versus like hopefully like, you know, if Payday 3 comes out, if it has even like half of the current Payday 2 stuff, which would be way more than Payday 2's launch, hopefully it's organized in a better fashion, I suppose, instead, because the problem they're going to run into when you just keep adding stuff is that it starts getting jumbled.
Yeah.
So hopefully they have a better game plan with this one in that regard. And then Payday 2 is on a different engine than Source or something like that. I don't know what engine
I don't remember
it's
what
on.
it's on, but I don't think it's on Unreal.
So it'll be interesting to see, because I know Unreal will allow them, first off, an easy access to an engine, but secondly,
And a very malleable, easily worked with engine.
yeah, well, and secondly, they're going to get lots of graphical goodies in that regard. So it'll probably be a really nice looking game. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, it's funny because Payday 2, when it first came out, was a very clean looking game. I wouldn't say it was a good looking game. It was clean looking. I think it's kind of stiff in its animations because it's, you know, made by a smaller developer.
For sure.
But it's a very like really clean, smooth, sharp looking game. So they obviously cared enough about the graphics to make it look like that I feel like the third one, using Unreal Engine, they get to skip a whole, you know, Unreal Engine outside of what is it, Unity?
Yeah.
Those two are like used by everyone because they're so fucking easy to use that you can just like dream big and not have to think as much about using, you know, even CryEngine I hear a lot of complaints about because it's kind of a bitch to work with. There's a lot of engines out there that have issues, and so, you know, when someone says they're using Unreal, all it tells me is they're fucking not gonna have issues in development at all.
Even though apparently it's been 4 years already. So
yeah. Yeah, but they've been having financial problems and shit too.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that even in the planning aspect in that regard, that's given them a lot of time. So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. They're saying like 2022, 2023. I'm like,
it's another 2 to 3 years at that point.
that's crazy, especially if they're just teasing it right now. It seems kind of. I would have rather them be a little closer to being done. I mean, at least this is telling people that they told before that the game's being worked on, that it's still being worked on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of confirmation, but I prefer to hear about it closer to release, or at least closer to gameplay reveal.
Yeah, and the financial aspect is also, as well as like the potential release date, can be a little scary too, because you're looking at 6 to 7 years development cycle at that point. So,
which is can be good, can be really bad.
Yeah, you're kind of creeping into that "are you in trouble"
Exactly
territory. So.
Because, you know, if you're like CD Projekt Red and you've just really been just working your fucking ass off, and people are bitching about crunch with the, you know, what you're doing, but the game's gonna come out, I'm assuming, I haven't played it, is gonna be really great. Sometimes it's definitely worth that amount of work, and then sometimes you don't get that choice, and shit just isn't going well. And the longer that goes on for, your game that you originally dreamed of making is becoming outdated already, because you're almost a fucking whole console generation through.
And tech has changed so much, and
yeah, I mean, 7 years is a console generation typically, and like if you've been working on a game for 6 years, you started at the beginning of it, or even if you're in the middle of the generation, you might be hopping to the next gen by the time your game comes out. How many times have you had to update your game and engine to make it even relevant anymore? I mean, like, you're really fucking gambling at that point,
which,
unless you planned ahead for that 6 years.
Well, and in the case of them using Unreal, that's an easy transition at least. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Unreal's just gonna update. So
yeah, you're just gonna move your assets. Worst case scenario. So
yeah. So would you want a Payday 3? And is there anything you can think of that you'd want them to add?
So it's been long enough. I don't know if I have any hype for it. It's hard for me to have hype over things.
It's been so long that I don't know if I'm hyped. I mean, I'm hyped for it because I really like Payday 2, but I'm not hyped for Payday 2 anymore. So I'm just kind of ready for Payday 3.
Well, the what I was getting to there was I need to see the game.
Yeah.
Like announcements are like all well and good, but there's very few like franchises out there that an announcement is enough to get me like, going.
Yeah.
A good example of that was when we got that really tiny teaser years ago for Cyberpunk. I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
But that was just a very rare instance. So in this, I of course I'm curious. I liked Payday 2. I have no complaints about it. I will keep an eye on Payday 3 if they start showing stuff off on it, because I do have an interest there. But as far as excitement goes or anything I want from it, honestly, I have no idea. I mean, it just needs to be what it was, but hopefully, improved in a smoother experience and offer hopefully more. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like I said before, I really like Payday 2 a lot. I play it so much. I'm kind of like just not in that circle anymore. If somebody wanted to play it, I'd be down to play it again though. Like I think it's a really cool idea, and it's way better than Payday 1. Payday 1 was a neat idea, but they didn't nail it. Payday 2 nailed it, but they're still supporting the game, which is wild. It's been out for like fucking 7 years, and they're still putting out shit for it, so I can really respect that. Payday 2 kind of lends itself to replayability and to just be endlessly supported, and they have supported the shit out of the game. But 7 years is 7 years, and at this point, I mean, if Monster Hunter World was being supported for 7 years straight, people would be like, "Where's Monster Hunter World 2? Or where's the next thing?" Because I'm just thinking of another game that's been supported very well. But Payday 2 kind of like fucking set the bar early on for everybody. On how to support a game. There's very few games that have supported their games as much, but I am ready for Payday 3. What I would want from that, obviously, I'd like superior graphics, but beyond that, Payday's formula is so good that I want it enhanced. So I want guns to look better, feel more visceral. I want to see fucking bullet casings and high fucking graphics flying out when you shoot with good lighting. I'd like to see really good ragdoll and impacts when you shoot people. It's really good tech when that's happening to make the gunfights feel better. I'd like to see more advanced like impacts on walls and surfaces when you're shooting to get that like heat feeling when you're having a shootout. I'd like more advanced systems. So obviously you go in there, you get into the safe, you grab the stuff and you walk out. I want more steps and more intricacy to doing these missions so you can get more variety on how you go about doing these missions. So not even necessarily change the game, add more to it.
Yeah.
Add more ways to do it, add more ways things can go wrong, way things can go right, reward good strategies. They have a really good base there, but it's 7 years old at this point, and it's pretty much what Payday 1 had. So just add more ways to go about these missions and more random aspects that can happen per mission. They already set a really good bar for the replayability. Up it. I want more. Plenty of characters. Maybe a little more work on like animations and storytelling. I guess I don't need like a deep story, but like maybe animate people in the situations, the cops, the civilians, stuff like that, doing more things. Just a more immersive experience when it comes to doing these like crime jobs. I think it would be really cool. Obviously, more scenarios, even though if I go into Payday 2, I feel like there's going to be a shitload to do now. But they're all going to feel pretty much, go in, you do as much as you can without getting fucking cops showing up. And then once that happens, you got to blast your way out. I'd like to see a bit more. And just more types of scenarios, more intricacy to the scenarios. So as long as I can do that, I'll be really happy. I'm really curious to see how it looks graphically, though, because with Unreal Engine, you're going to get the most current graphics if they choose to really push that.
Yeah.
Easily accessed. So I feel like it's going to be a good-looking game. Honestly, I want it to feel like fucking Killing Floor 2 when it comes to shooting. It's another indie game made by smaller dev that fucking when they went from Killing Floor to Killing Floor 2, massive jump.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one.
Massive jump. The original Killing Floor looked like Counter-Strike. And it was a cool, fun game. And then Killing Floor 2 came out, and it was just like everything you wanted from Killing Floor, just enhanced by a shitload. Whereas Payday 2 looked like Payday 1 pretty much, but just had way more to offer.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I think that's probably, and like you said, the biggest thing to want from it is just to look like a newer game.
Yeah.
And feel like a newer game. So.
But, and I'm not going to get back into this because we already talked about it, but just to, kind of throw it back out there, I am concerned about the development time. I am concerned that this company has been struggling and that they're trying to put this game out. Hopefully it comes out. Hopefully it's not hindered by their struggle of whatever the fuck's going on. And hopefully, the game doesn't come out, it's like half made or kind of shitty because they couldn't do it. That would really fucking suck. Hopefully they can confidently put this game out and it can be good for everyone, because it does worry me about them talking about this in 2017 and then in 2020 just letting people know they're in the design phase of the game. That kind of does make me go, well, I don't know, that could be not good. But until we see something on it, there's no way to tell.
For sure.
So, anything else you want to say?
No.
Let us know in the comments what do you guys think about Payday 3 being confirmed in its design phase. What do you think about it being made on Unreal Engine? Have you played Payday 2 and Payday 1? What did you think of those games? And what would you want from Payday 3? Let us know in the comments below. Second bit of news is a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima news, in which there is a new trailer for the official multiplayer and New Game Plus update for Ghost of Tsushima. We actually never reacted to the original trailer that showed off that there's going to be a multiplayer update. We've talked about a little bit on Tastycast, but this will be a pretty fresh conversation for the channel, because I think we were moving when that happened.
Yeah.
So that's why we were busy. So yeah, we're going to watch this, we're going to react to it, we're going to talk about it, and then I have an article that's going to explain what we're seeing in this in case there's some details that the trailer does not convey possibly. So anything you want to say before we hop into this?
I still need to beat the game.
Me too. I got a hit list, and so far one of my 3 I've confirmed it's fucking done, and that's Last of Us Part 2. I actually beat it. Now I got fucking Ghost of Tsushima and Final Fantasy 7.
I also have those 2. Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, but that's early access, so I don't know how much game we're getting. So I'm not going to put that on my list of games I have to beat before Cyberpunk.
I'll say I don't think the game's getting a full release this year, so it doesn't even count as this year's game anyway. So,
I mean, it technically comes out this year. I would count that. If somebody wanted to say this early access version of this game that's come out this year is my game of the year, I wouldn't say, wait, you can't do that. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like hit list wise that an early access game versus like a release game. I'm going to prioritize release games.
I would wait till it's fully released to really give my final opinion on it. Unless it's so fucking good in early access that I'm like, holy shit. But I really don't know. I don't know how much we're getting there. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Ghost of Tsushima. It is a game that we both need to beat. And yeah, you ready to watch this?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. Custom gear loadouts. That's cool. It's kind of added a little touch to the game. New Game Plus, which I'm glad to see. New horse. So new content. Mysterious new merchant and new dyes. It's good to see. These are all good little touches. Powerful new charms, new trophies. I'm reading this for anyone listening. And Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which is the multiplayer, 4-player survival missions, 2-player story missions, post-launch raid, 4 unique classes, new Legend cosmetics, which look fucking cool as shit. Everything in this game looks cool, though. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Legends photo mode. I'm glad they're maintaining the photo mode for this. Some ghost dogs. This one's supposed to embrace like mythology and shit, so it's gonna be a little more weird. All right, what do we think of the trailer?
The I don't know. To be honest, I know they gave me information, but I almost feel like I didn't get anything.
They really. Well, should we read the article?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about that in a sec. So this is via fucking Polygon. Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer and new game plus arrive October 16th. PS4 games 1.1 update adds a whole lot more. Ghost of Tsushima Legends of the previously announced cooperative multiplayer mode for up to 4 players is coming to Ghost of Tsushima on October 16th with PlayStation 4 Games 1.1 update. The free update will also include a host of new additions, improvements for the single player portion of the game, namely a new Game Plus mode. As seen in the trailer, can we pause whatever the fuck's happening right here? Fucking ads. As seen in the trailer above, Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima Legends will include 2-player story missions, 4-player survival missions. Developer Sucker Punch Productions teases a multiplayer raid that will arrive in the weeks following launch. That raid, the developer says, will be an epic 3-part adventure that will require excellent teamwork and communication to overcome. Players will encounter a new character in Ghost of Tsushima when the update arrives. Gyozan, a storyteller that grants access to the Legends multiplayer lobby. More details about Ghost of Tsushima Legends gameplay and multiplayer modes, photo mode options are available at the PlayStation blog. On the single player side, Sucker Punch revealed what players can expect in New Game Plus mode, a new horse, new extremely powerful charms, and a new merchant that will give players New Game Plus exclusive dyes and vanity items in exchange for collecting a new strain of flower, which is cool to hear that the New Game Plus has new content. I mean, it's more than just like, oh, it's a little, you're carrying over all your stuff into, maybe a harder difficulty or something like that, but that you have new things to acquire. Wow, that's an abrupt article that just ends on, okay, that's stupid. Yeah, so what do we think from that info?
I mean, I'm interested, obviously, in the multiplayer stuff. I'm not going to get too excited yet just because I don't know like how good it's going to feel.
Yeah.
Because the game is definitely very single player focused. And as much as like I'm looking forward to like Cyberpunk is a good example of that as well. They are also working on multiplayer mode that's going to come out later. And again, I'm kind of in that's exciting, but I kind of need to like actually like see and hear feedback on it type of thing. Cosmetics wise, I mean, everything looks great. This one thing this game has just done well, like consistently, is you get to live that samurai, aesthetic, and they really embrace it, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. As long as all the content is in the multiplayer is really fun, I could definitely see myself, wanting to dive into it really deeply. But the only thing I'm kind of like weirded out by is the 4-player mode specifically. I think it said it was a survival mode, and I'm not actually interested in that at all. Survival modes just don't really do it for me anymore. The 2-player story thing I think is very cool. The raid I think sounds really cool. Survival, we'll see.
Yeah, it kind of looked like in some of these pictures that there's stuff to unlock and work towards. So it seems like you sit there and grind out the fucking survival maybe, and then play the 2-player missions. I'm not sure how you acquire this stuff, but It looks like the unlock shit, which is cool. That's my biggest thing about the multiplayer is it sounds appealing. I love multiplayer. Obviously, any game it's got multiplayer. It's a big increase in my interest when it comes to that. But how replayable is this going to be? Is it going to be a one-off? You play it a second, and it's all added. This is nothing that I expected when the game came out. I got the game I wanted.
Right.
So this is all added shit. So it's very cool to me. But 2-player storyline stuff, that's cool. I'm more interested in that. Survival, I'll play it for sure. But if it's just straight up how far can you get in survival, I'm not going to be playing that for too long.
Exactly.
I will try it, and I probably will enjoy it. But in a game where it's like about these like situations where you have a samurai fight or you're sneaking around doing ninja shit, the idea of like hanging out while waves attack you is not what I was looking for playing the game. For
sure.
But I will play it for sure. And I hope it's awesome. I hope it's fucking dope as shit. I just love it. The raid sounds cool, but it's starting to sound like The Division or Destiny.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's going to translate to a game like this, where I love that you can kill a dude in like one hit and like execute people. Not to sound like I'm poo-pooing this. I'm excited for it. I really want to fucking try the multiplayer. I just have concerns, I guess, of
reservations.
Reservations is a better word. I don't have concerns. I'm not worried. I'm actually very excited to play this.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious. I'd like to see more on it. It's coming out fucking soon, so it doesn't matter. Like 10 days from now. But yeah, the idea of playing this multiplayer, I love that there's classes. That's really cool. I like that they're bringing over, the photo mode, because this game has a great photo mode, and playing with your friends with your different outfits and different fucking classes and stuff. It's a game it's a mode that's going to be very cool to get those pictures of you and your friends together.
I also like the embrace on the more fantasy side of things too.
Yeah, it's kind of fresh. One thing I'd like to see them do though, if they're going to introduce this multiplayer, is add like a co-op to the campaign as well.
Isn't that what the story one is?
Well, just a 2-player story. I assume those are like individual stories of that mode.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't explain that, but if you play the game, because it's talking about the class and stuff. If you can play the game 2-player co-op, that'd be fucking dope. I didn't get that impression from it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments for sure. I'm trying to find the part where it says that 4-player survival mode, 2-player story missions. So missions at that point, I feel like are like
that's probably just like quests.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
are given for that mode.
If you can freely roam the map though in this, that'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But yeah, I'll take anything. It's all extra. But if you could play this with your friend, it'd be fucking dope to do some like dual stealthing, or someone runs in and starts samurai fighting everybody while you're sneaking up and killing from behind. But yeah, I'm definitely more hyped than you are, it sounds, but I understand where you're coming from because I have similar reservations as well. As for the stuff they're adding to single player, New Game Plus is always welcome. That they're adding stuff to make it more interesting to play again is awesome. I like that a lot, especially that they're adding what they say, like new fucking like oh no,
the charms.
Yeah, thank you. New, more powerful charms. Is definitely worth it. The new dyes, the new horse. There's brand new content worth playing for that. So you're not just playing it again to play it again with your stuff that you're carrying over. There's brand new shit to be unlocking, and that's very cool. Some of this stuff I feel like they should have added already, but that they are adding it is a positive. It's a plus. So, all in all, I think this is really fucking cool, and I'm really excited for it. I hope the multiplayer is dope. I feel like it's gonna be cool at the very least. I don't even think it's gonna be like mediocre. I think it's gonna be like cool. But I hope it's like fucking something really dope, and if they really like nail it, I hope they support it.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be kind of a key thing anyways, because so many games have like a multiplayer thing they add. Like even like to use like Final Fantasy 15 as an example, had the whole Comrades mode, which is this neat idea, but no support. So like it went nowhere. And
I would like to see that go somewhere.
Mass Effect and Dragon Age, same idea. They had this multiplayer mode, which was like an okay basis like for multiplayer, but
yeah, and those felt really tacked on because in Dragon Age and in Mass Effect, they were like the same mode.
Same mode, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought it was neat. I played it quite a bit, but I was like, this is a dead end.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where my reservation mostly comes from, is that what's the longevity in it? Is it going to be worth my time, or is it just going to be something I try and go, that was neat, and then never do again?
That's why I emphasize, even though we have our opinions on it, I emphasize this game never said multiplayer was going to be part of it. This was a big surprise. It's a free surprise for everybody. And so, like, if it's great, awesome. If it's not that great, I still got the game I was expecting, and it's fucking awesome.
For sure.
Yeah. I just want to be clear about that. Someone's like, well, they don't even fucking owe you. No, I get that completely.
Right.
Get that completely. I'm with you 100%. If anyone bitches about this and starts going like, this game fucking sucks because the multiplayer or something like that, something ridiculous, you'd be out of line, because this is like fucking unannounced content that was never fucking promised. So all you can do is hope it's gonna be awesome. It looks cool though. Like it's not even just like copy paste shit from the single player. It's a brand new thing with brand new visuals and equipment and stuff to equip. So it's pretty exciting. So, and I actually kind of love that they didn't tell anybody about this.
I agree. Just because and you see it a lot with everything these days, but when you give people too much time to sit and think, they they start coming up with stuff, and then those things start to become reality to people, and then they become disappointed
Their
when their made
expectations
up
become
expectations aren't real. And they did that to themselves, but they blame the developer, and it turns into this mess where developers got to deal with like pissed off people who are sending them threats and shit like that. So for things that they never promised.
Pretty much everything. When anyone's outraged, if there's a group of people outraged, there's definitely gonna be death threats.
Yeah, and
which is fucking stupid.
I don't feel our community needs to hear this, but in case you're randomly
Our
stumbling
community is the
upon
best
this,
community.
in case you're randomly stumbling upon this video, that's never okay, man.
Yeah. We've always had a negative outlook on that. Even when I was talking with Dean Takahashi and shit, and I was telling him, I was like, people really fucking dig in on you a lot, and some people say some real fucked up shit that I disavow completely. Like those people, anyone saying that he should get punched or killed is just a straight up piece of shit.
Or, you're a garbage human being.
Yeah, you're just a piece of fucking shit. So we're getting to a different area here, but it's pretty common.
Unfortunately.
Say what you say about The Last of Us 2, Neil Druckmann. I've had my complaints. There's people that send him death threats all the time and bring up like stuff about him being Jewish and stuff.
Fuck off.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. You're an idiot if you're doing that shit. So it's a video game.
Don't like something, man.
Yeah.
Don't play it.
Yeah.
Don't spend your money on it. Don't play it. Go on with your life. Do things you do like instead of absorbing all that anger and lashing out on people.
Well, there are people who like to see if they can get a reaction, who are not going to do anything, and there's some real unhinged people. And the dice you're rolling on that is, your odds are better on it's just some asshole going like, I'm going to say some really fucked up shit and see what they say. And then, you might have someone who's actually fucking nuts. Yeah. Who's just like, I'm going to kill you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's never okay. It's never okay. No. Nobody. I know we're getting way off on something else, but it's just something that I see so much on Twitter now too, which is crazy. But no one should have to feel like they need to look over their shoulder all the time because they made something someone didn't like. Like that's fucking crazy.
I made you dinner. That's not what I wanted. You should die.
I'll come into your house. You are here. But anyway, outside of that, hopefully no one sends some death threats to Sucker Punch over this, which I doubt they will because I think it's going to be really cool. So, yeah, I'm stoked. Comes out very soon. Comes out the 16th, and I will be playing it ASAP. As soon as it comes out, I will be trying it. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think we covered it.
Did you like the trailer? You think it did? I think it's too fast.
So
it's too short.
When we watched and you asked my opinion, I was like,
I don't know what the fuck happened. That's why I was reading out loud too. I was watching it, but I was like, people listen to this. I want to make sure they know what the fuck we're looking at, and I barely know. So, my only criticism from this whole thing, a minute and 30 seconds, I don't think is long enough to really kind of dive into the things they're adding. And Polygon barely did a better job, but it added a little bit of context. So it would have been cool. What would have been the best thing is if they had someone talk over the game and go, in Ghost of Tsushima 1.1, you can look forward to blah, 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 blah. Once you've beaten the game, you will have access to brand new dyes from this new merchant and blah, blah, blah. I think that would have been a cooler way to do it. Maybe a 3 to 5 minute video. But
I would say the biggest problem we had there was no time to soak in anything.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
yeah. But other than that, very cool, very excited. Let us know in the comments, what do you guys think about, first off, this trailer? What do you think about the content that they're adding to the single player? Are you excited about it? You're not excited about it? Are you going to play the New Game Plus? Does that sound awesome to you? Does it not sound that great to you? Are you going to try and get that horse? Have you beaten the game yet? If you have, please no spoilers, but did you like it? Did you love it? Did you not like it? Do you think it's overrated, overhyped? And then what do you guys think about the Ghost of Tsushima Legends and it as a multiplayer component to the game? What do you think about the 2-player story missions? What do you think about the raid that will be coming out? What do you think about the 4-player survival mode? Do you think that sounds cool? Is that something you're going to be really into? Or are you not really into survival modes as well, possibly? And what do you think about the cosmetics? What do you think about how the progression of this is going to go? And what would you hope from Sucker Punch when it comes to possibly supporting this? Or do you think it's fine as a one-off? Let us know everything in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out are linked down below for Discord. You can talk to us anytime, all the time on that. And we're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. If you prefer to listen to us, and you can support this channel even further than liking, commenting, and sharing the video, and telling your friends to subscribe and hit 2,000 subscribers in this community by checking out our Patreon link down below. All your support is very much appreciated. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Till the next episode, which will be something very soon. Have a good week, guys, and take it easy.